let him join now. How long will he take?
He is joining, sir. One second.
Okay, just
we are live now. Meanwhile, we can start, sir. It's already 3.
All right. So we are starting, and a very good afternoon to all of you, and welcome to this ASSOCHAM webinar on skill development with the theme Role of E-Learning Platforms for Upskilling and Training. This is one of the number of programs on skilling which ASSOCHAM has done in the recent past. I must also inform you that ASSOCHAM has been working with various ministries, including the Ministry of Textiles for skilling and assessment, training and assessment. We are also integral part of the NSDC, most of you may be aware of. And today we are very, very excited to have a discussion on the subject role of e-learning platforms for upskilling and training. And I'm indeed very privileged to have some of the outstanding speakers on the subject. We have Professor Neela Dabir, who is the Dean School of Vocational Education, Professor, Tata Institute of Social Science. Welcome, madam. We have Dr. Devraj Singh, who is the Vice President and Head Technical Standards, Electronic Sector Skills Council of India. We have, of course, Mr. Arvind Bali, who is the Chief Executive Officer, Telecom Sector Skill Council of India, and he's a veteran of the telecom industry. We have Colonel Anand Kumar Singh, Chief Executive Officer, Construction Skill Development Council of India. Welcome, Mr. Singh. We have Mr. Ameya Banjari, Head Technology and Innovation from Tata Strive. Thank you so much, Banjari Saab, for joining us. We have Madam Joyita Das, Lead Education and Skilling Initiatives, IBM India and South Asia. We have Mr. Venkatesh Sarva Siddhi, who is the Senior Head Digital Skills and Innovation, NSDC. We have Mr. Anil People, Director from the Ministry of Electronics and IT, Government of India, who's joined, or he must be joining any moment now. And of course, we'll also have Madam Leena Johri, who is Joint Secretary, Ministry of Rural Development, Government of India, who will also be joining and addressing our today's session. So thank you all for joining for this webinar conducted by ASSOCHAM. And I would request Madam Neela Dabir, who is moderating the session, to please take on from here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Sharma and Mr. Robinson. Good afternoon, everybody, and I welcome all the eminent speakers to this important webinar on the theme of role of e-learning platforms for upskilling and training. First of all, I would like to congratulate ASSOCHAM to choose this topic, which is a very important one in today's context, and in terms of how we use the e-learning platforms effectively for skill development. Currently, digitization has encompassed every aspect of our life, especially so in the last few months. And all of us are forced to make use of e-platforms for meetings and for teaching, learning, and many other things, right from the kids in the kindergarten to the students in colleges and technical institutions are learning online. Some are finding it difficult, some are finding it easy, but e-learning has become the way of life right now. All of us know that there are a large number of e-learning platforms available, and each of them have certain advantages and some limitations. Being new in the whole field of e-learning, the education institutions as well as trainers are at a loss to decide which e-learning platform will be suitable for their needs of delivering skill training or having programs for upskilling. The trainers as well as trainees are getting ready for this new concept of online learning, but all of us know that they are facing a large number of challenges because of sometimes there is low connectivity, interruptions in the electric supply. The digital tools used by the learners are different. They are not uniform or not having uniform capacity to learn online. Teachers are finding it difficult to set up digital classrooms and then giving lectures in an interactive mode, also giving group exercises, giving assignments to the students, assessment of the skills that they have learned. All those things are new for the trainers because they are suddenly pushed into this whole arena of e-learning. All of us are aware of all these challenges. So in today's session, we aim to address some of these challenges and some of these problems that all of us are aware of. One is like, what are the e-learning platforms that are available and which are most suitable for skill training? Because skill training is a different ballgame than the regular academic learning process, where it's more on the lecture mode and more knowledge based, whereas in skills, lot of things we expect to be learned hands-on. What are the challenges of e-learning platforms that are available? Readiness to provide e-learning platforms and digital tools to trainers as well as teachers is another challenge. And then role and responsibility of the government as well as industry in promoting e-learning for skilling, upskilling, and all sorts of trainings that we are expected to do. So at the end of the webinar, we wish to have few concrete recommendations for the policymakers who can facilitate the use of e-learning platforms for upskilling and training. We are really fortunate to have many eminent speakers on our panel today. My only request to the panelists is to stick to the time of 10 minutes each so that we will have an opportunity to listen to all of the panelists and their thoughts on this topic. With these opening remarks, I would like to invite the first speaker of the day, Dr. Devraj Singh. Dr. Devraj Singh is Vice President and Head Technical and Standards, Electronics Sector Skill Council, an IIT Engineering graduate, MBA and DMS with deep technical knowledge, especially in the area of skilling, solar energy, telecom, and process industry having Six Sigma expertise. He is having over 25 years of rich work experience globally, and he's presently working at Electronics Sector Skill Council of India as Vice President, heading the technical team and standards.
Madam, just a second, madam. I'll request all of you to please keep your mics mute, please. Devraj Singh ji, आपको भी mic अभी mute करना होगा. Madam बोल रही हैं, please. Thank you.
No, I just finished introducing Dr. Devraj. I don't know whether people were able to hear or I have to repeat.
So they were able to hear, ma'am. Fine, that's fine. That's fine. Thank you.
Dr. Devraj, please.
So I hope
Please go ahead. Yes, okay. Yes, please go ahead.
Good afternoon to all.
Thank you.
And thank you, ma'am, for introducing me. As you know, businesses to deal with the challenge that they employ enough tech workers to meet their anticipated need for new technology capabilities. And there are two ways to do so. First, hire workers qualified in the needed skills and train existing workers to become qualified in the skill required. So second, what I mentioned is actually what we call upskilling. Mind it, upskilling is fraction of the cost of hiring and onboarding. Constantly changing state of technology in modern times means that organizations need to fill in workforce technology gaps on the ongoing basis. So the hire versus upskill decision has to be made over and over by the industry. Means that the upskilling saving opportunity present itself over and over as well. So upskilling, as you know, has other benefits like career advancement, increased employee satisfaction, and low employee attrition. In fact, prospective employees view companies with upskilling programs as more desirable employers. So upskilling can help with hiring as well. Now, given that employees like online courses for upskilling, helping them upskill is good for your business. It makes sense for your company to help your employees access online courses as part of your learning and development program. There are many providers of online courses in edutech market today. You know, blended learning and applied learning together can provide you a better learning. However, not all online courses are similar, as we know. Two things amplify the power of online courses to upskill employees. First is technology that supports learners, and second is applied to learn to keep the courses grounded in real-world requirements. There are two general approaches to e-learning. One is self-paced. Self-paced, what you can call as asynchronous kind of learning, and another is facilitated or instructor-led. That is called synchronous kind of learning. So self-paced learners are alone and completely independent, while facilitated and instructor-led e-learning courses provide different levels of support from tutors and instructors and collaboration among learners. Often, as you know, e-learning courses combine both of these approaches, but for simplicity, easily consider that these two are really separate. So, training programs, what are available today? What kind of skills that is required to actually evolve those training programs? As per me, there are three different kinds of skills that is required. One is cognitive skills, which can involve knowledge and comprehension. Another is interpersonal skill, which actually involves active listening, presenting, and negotiating. And a third one is psychomotor skills that involves the acquisition of physical perception and movements, like when you are doing some sports or when you are driving a car. You actually inherently learn through your psychometric skills. So how can e-learning addresses these diverse domains? So as I told, most e-learning courses are developed to build cognitive skills. The cognitive domain is most suitable for e-learning. Within cognitive domains, thinking skill may require more interactive e-learning activities because those skills are learned better by doing. Learning in the interpersonal domain can also be addressed in e-learning by using specific methods. For example, interactive role playing with appropriate feedback can be used to change attitudes and behavior. So, to achieve and deliver our vision for e-learning at Electronic Sector Skill Council of India, we have designed and developed a learning management system, LMS, having features to conduct blended deliveries, having e-content both static and dynamic form, while our virtual labs, which you can say lab on the sky, provides simulation lab on the go as well. So this is all about e-learning and the role of e-learning platform for upskilling and training from my side. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Devraj. You have really finished in the time limit, and I really appreciate that. I think we will take all the question answers at the end once all the speakers have, if time permits. So I would like to invite the next speaker of the day, Mr. Arvind Bali. He is the Chief Executive Officer, Telecom Sector Skill Council of India, an accomplished business leader with 35 plus years of experience in management of various business streams with globally respected outcomes. He possesses capability of transforming underperforming organizations with powerful analytical skills, potent communication capability, and strategic vision. Arvind Bali is a part of the advisory boards in consulting promoters and their organizations in telecom, IT, and security and surveillance for performance improvement and strategic guidance. Till June 18, as Director and CEO of Connect Broadband and earlier Videocon Telecom, in its maiden journey of becoming an admired brand with enriching lives of millions and guiding the organization to ride the next wave of telecom growth in India. He is an MBA from FMS Delhi University and graduate with honors in mechanical engineering from Punjab Engineering College, Chandigarh. Over to you, Mr. Bali.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, ma'am, for such a elaborate introduction about me. I'm really feeling very honored. And I'm actually associated with ASSOCHAM for a very, very long time, and I've been participating in the event. And I must thank all the organizers for inviting me for this seminar, webinar, which is actually so close to our organization, so close to our heart, because as an organization, we are actually working a lot on e-learning platforms for both upskilling as well as for training. Just to take you through, what is happening or what was happening before pandemic. In June 2019, that was the last big international event I attended. There was a World Congress on basically total telecom, which is organized in Barcelona as well as in China. So I attended this one in Shanghai, and there the complete focus was on 5G, and that was my interest. I gone there for 5G, and normally, like typically, this is a question which comes to everybody in mind. Like we have got now connectivity, and we have got even 4G speeds, which are very good. You can watch videos and all that. Why, like there's so much talk happening about 5G, and actually, that was my interest to really go into details of that. And then when we went into details, and there were specific country examples, and one example which I liked the most was related to China, because China and India, both countries are geographically quite big. And also when it comes to northern China and some part of the China, if you leave the southern belt, I think rest of the China have got almost similar issues that we see in our tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 towns. So the one thing, which about 5G they were talking was that they are going to do in a big way all e-learning, taking it to school and also taking it to their skill centers. And for that purpose, they all believe that 5G technology is something which is going to facilitate very quickly e-learning and upskilling and all the trainings what the whole world is talking. Now, specifically, again, like when we see that why 4G cannot achieve exactly what all we are talking, and only 5G will do that, I think there are definitely big advantages 5G can offer. When it comes to artificial intelligence or augmented realities or virtual realities, and wherever you need very, very small lag, in all those places, I think it is very good to have 5G or very high speed internet. So that was a time when nobody knew that this kind of pandemic will come and there'll be suddenly such a big shift. And that is a talk at that time mainly was around schools and all the remote areas. And then what we saw when pandemic happened, I think there was such a big surge in demand about e-learning. So e-learning for schools globally, 1.2 billion children have been actually taking online classes all over the globe, all over the world. And gradually now, like people have started questioning and thinking that do we actually need to again go back to that 100% attendance in schools? Can't we just have a two-way model where part of the classes can be conducted online and rest in the school, so that, all the effort which children have to make to reach to the school can be reduced and they can be more productive. So having said that, the point what I'm saying is now we as Telecom Sector Skill Council, we are responsible for the scaling of it. And we also have got almost similar challenge. As we move out of the metros and we go to tier 3, tier 4 towns, we find that providing facility over there is the biggest challenge. Getting the right kind of trainers, giving the right kind of skill, that is always a challenge. And some of you, like you have seen this education system changing even in this country. I think you've all witnessed that. I've seen for the last 40 years. There was a time when anyone who had studied in a metro, in a big city, was distinctively different from the people who were coming from tier 3, tier 4 towns. Their education and their quality level were very different. But today, as you see and go into the results, students from tier 3, tier 4 towns are doing better because they have got practically the same access to knowledge, same access to the same quality teachers what people in metro have got. Rather, they've got more hunger, so that is why they're doing better. Same thing is applicable for our skilling side also. When it comes to tier 3, tier 4 towns where it is very difficult to make reach all good teachers, I think e-learning is something which will actually facilitate in a big way all that. This industry is changing very fast. A lot of investments are coming. When I see the real figures which are coming, it's mind-boggling. Like the total size of this industry will be more than $350 billion within next 2-3 years time, which is not a small business. And that is why you see so many industries are making and so many companies are making so much of investment. Now coming to this point, I think there was a very good point which I think, ma'am, you used in your introduction. Definitely, when it comes to skilling, it is basically school dropouts or sometimes people with lesser education, or maybe like their quality and levels are also very different. So when we talk about e-learning, we have to be e-learning for skilling and training. I think there are two things which we have to very carefully take care of. One is like making it easy for them to really access knowledge and information. Access, like if we expect that everything will happen only on large screen or on computers, then there will be a challenge. But if you can develop everything on apps, I think it will be very easy, because app-based learning is very quick and easy, and I think they can very easily convert it into their language and see it in their own formats much easier, much faster. And second point, which is again very relevant, is when you're doing all that, I think you have also take care of it, that which are the things which can be purely done through normal presentation, interactive presentations and tests, etc. And which are the things which are high-end things where you have to spend a lot of resources to make people understand. Like for example, in skilling, we have got two parts of the skilling. There are some skilling which are very technology driven. Like for example, if I take an example of telecom, like telecom tower technician has to be trained on towers. Now reaching to all the towers is challenge, and also companies that don't easily allow that. And every new learner cannot be just allowed to climb a 40-meter tall tower. Now, how to give them the real experience? And if we have augmented reality videos or virtual reality videos or 360-degree videos, any kind of immersed learning if we do, I think we can give at least 90-95% of the experience which they actually deserve. And then, of course, after training, when they go on the job, they learn much better. So if we are able to take care of all these small elements, it is something which will be becoming very useful. So first of all, if you take it from me, I think my view is very clear. Tomorrow it will not be a choice to have e-learning for skilling and training. I think it will be something which is actually going to happen, and we all have to adopt it. And what is happening in our industry is people actually all the time proactively acting and bringing new technologies, new softwares, new areas, so that whatsoever is the desired and requirement, whatsoever are our challenges, they overcome those challenges using the technology. And I think that is the biggest change which we will be seeing. So from telecom sector side, we have already started working on all that. We have got our own LMS on which we provide a lot of knowledge information. We are also training all our training partners onto new way of teaching, and also we are developing a lot of our new courses which are actually video based, which are 360-degree video based, so that people can see it on AR/VR. This is the development which we are taking. Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Bali. I appreciate all the points that you have made. You are suggesting that a lot of learning management systems have been developed by different sector skill councils for their own sectors and sector-specific trainings. And that will go a long way in involving the training centers as well as the trainers in adopting the new technology. Our next speaker for today is Colonel Anand Kumar Singh. He is the Chief Executive Officer, Construction Skill Development Council of India. Colonel Anand Kumar Singh is a veteran from Indian Army, Corps of Engineers. He is a postgraduate in civil engineering from Indian Institute of Technology, Chennai, and has 30 years of rich experience in combat engineering as well as planning, execution, and management of infrastructural projects in Indian Army and Air Force. Joined Construction Development Council of India in April 2016, and since then he has been working for development of skilling ecosystem for construction. He was appointed CEO of CSDCI in December 16. It goes to his credit to assist in many policy formulations and bring skilling for construction sector in limelight. CSDCI has been now assisting in skilling and certification of construction workers in almost all states and government-run industry-led programs. Over to you, Colonel Anand Kumar. Please start your presentation.
Good afternoon, all participants, and thank you, Ms. Neela, for giving us the opportunity. My special thanks goes to ASSOCHAM, who is discussing and addressing the contemporary issues, especially skill-related issues. We had few days back discussion on similar issues related to skills, and now we are discussing the e-learning or the blended mode. We know that, and we had been impressing upon, our government has been impressing on every day. One side, we have the youth who are looking for the job, and the other way, the industry looking for the skilled or the youth who can do the job. The gap between them remains only the skills, what they possess, and whether whatever deliverable that is required by the industry, that can be delivered by the youth. And here come the skills. Now, the skilling efforts have been on, and there have been different methodologies that is going through the skilling. One has been apprenticeship. The another has been through the normal set physical training institutions we have, including the ITAs, or the in construction, if I talk about the National Academy of Construction, for example, that is in Hyderabad, or construction skill training institutes, L&T is there, or the other industry leaders are there in construction. But it has been physical training. It has been seen that physical training takes a lot of time, and then the variables are many more, including trainers, including the institutes, including the attitude of the people there. So that is one way that has to be looked into. The second thing that's coming, the technology is now moving at a pretty fast pace, and that is knocking the door of skilling efforts also. So that is here it comes to how we can take the technology to our advantage in skilling the people. Here we are talking about how this can be introduced. And one that comes that e-skilling. Can we skill the people without visiting the training centers physically or online? In construction sector especially, we look for, when we look for like mason or welder or bar bender or any job role you take it in construction sector especially, we do not say it that can be done online. Yes, a portion of that. In a skilling ecosystem, there are physical training and there are theory part that can be done. So theory part, we say, that can be given online. That constitutes about 30%, that we can say. Similarly, the demonstration part, which that is done in a skilling ecosystem on ground, that can be explained through the e-learning mode. So that can be introduced. So here we see about 30 to 40% efforts which is being done physical on the ground, that can be delivered through a skill or e-skilling, we can say it. And that is where the term comes, the blended mode. where you have 30, 40, or if you go for the higher NSQF level, might be 50%, which can be delivered online. And then the rest of the training that can be delivered physically. Here comes the advantage. If we talk about the construction sector, you see there is a lack of training infrastructure. Like I named few. In a skill ecosystem of construction sector, we project that requirement per year is near about 35 lakh. The fresh comers, the fresh people join the construction sector, that number goes near about 35 lakh. Whereas, including all the training infrastructure we have, whether that is a government or private, that comes near about 5 to 6 lakhs. So still we lack the training infrastructure of near about 28, 29 or 30 lakh people. So from where to create the training infrastructure, that's take a lot of effort. So one mode is there that reduce the physical training that is happening at the training infrastructure and introduce a e-learning module, which we are talking about 30, 40 or 50% that can be delivered in e-module. So somehow the capacity of the training institution that can be doubled that way. The second that comes, like the variables we were talking about, there are many variables when it is delivered in physical form. So once we go in digital mode, delivery of theory or demonstration parts, a lot of issues, such variables are addressed. You have the standard mode of delivery, whether that is the audio, video, or e-content or demonstration, which can be standardized. And it will be across taking all the technological advancement or updation that is happening. So that way we'll be able to address both the issues, the technical part, which is hampering or which is a variable of many aspects, and the another one is shortage of the training infrastructure. However, if we talk about the construction sector especially, you see it's a full of challenge. Challenge in the sense, if you see the sectoral profile where we are looking the intervention, like I told earlier, whether you talk about the masons or welders or bar benders or scaffolders, or you take anyway, the target group is not very familiar with the methodology we are talking about. They come from the background where they are technically, educationally, as well as financially, they are at disadvantage. So somewhere that needs to be addressed, that if we are talking about the e-learning module, how to deliver to them to do a step, what technology that will be there, whether they will be possessing the infrastructure, whether the mobile, laptop, or any medium we are talking about, or the internet that will be available to them. So that needs to be addressed. The second thing that will come, that if they are being delivered away from the training centers, the monitoring that will come as an issue. Whether they are learning, they are not learning, that issue will come, that needs to be addressed at their part. The second thing that will come, what kind of the delivery platform we have, that will also come, and that needs investment, whether by the government or the training provider or any other agency that needs investment. So that will come. We are in construction sector. We have gone into an MOU with L&T for development of such an platform, where L&T is making an investment, and we are in quite advanced stage. Our trial batch is about to start from 16th November. Once we see that feasibility, yes, that happened, then we'll go for the another one. But here also we see, you see, in construction sector, we have developed 102 job roles. But many of the job roles will come, which is for the rural masses, especially like the rural mason. I will give an example. It will be very difficult to bring them on online mode. What I mean to say here, even we choose to go in a blended mode or online or e-learning module, we need to choose very carefully that which job role where people will be capable to grasp or go through the e-module and follow it. So that's what I feel as on date. It's the requirement, perhaps it is coming. The second way, it's compulsion that we'll have to go for because of our shortcomings in quality assurance as well as the training infrastructure. But that's the reality going to come. And we need to adopt this methodology in a very careful way, where whatever goals we are talking about, whether that is the delivery, quality assurance, or the participation by the target group to whom we are addressing it, they are able to participate it. The construction sector, we are going through the pilot batches or something, and we'll have with some concrete data and some renewed challenges as well. Renewed challenges, that means even trainers. Online, you are going, even trainers, they will be required. They will require some explanation, how that explanation will go to them, who will assist them, how that will be assisted to them. So there are a lot of issues that will come. Then will come the finances. You see, we have, as on date, if we talk about, the only training provider is there who needs the finances. But once we shift the blended mode, then there will be two more elements that will add. One will add about the platform provider, who is providing the training platform. Naturally, there is going to be a business model for them also, for survival or sustenance. So that cost will come. And then the third will come, how the infrastructure needed by the candidates that can be addressed. That the second part that will come. Certainly challenges are there, but I think advantage, if we see, there are much more. Plus technological advancement, it's very difficult to trickle down to the training centers or the candidates. But if we have the technology at our end and e-delivery module is there, then that will become easy and will be at par with the latest technology wherever that is being followed, down to the urban area or semi-urban area or even to the villages. That's all I had to see. And thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to explain it.
Thank you, Kumar. It has been quite a learning experience for me, because I am also in the skill development space and facing similar challenges in different areas that our students are coming from. So these are the challenges all of us will have to address together probably, and with the help of the government in building infrastructure for many accessible technology for all. That is one of the things that is coming up very clearly. Now we go to the next speaker, Mr. Amay Vanzari. He is Head Technology and Innovation at Tata Strive. He heads the Technology and Innovation function at Tata Strive, a Tata Group initiative focused on skill development towards employability of the youth. For a program to deliver significant impact, technology plays a key role, and he is responsible for planning and implementing technology solutions to support the capabilities and processes at Tata Strive, introducing various innovations for the program to facilitate development of youth for success in the future, enabling developments of the tomorrow's skills while maintaining quality. Prior to this, he has led the business and IT architecture consulting practice at TCS for over 8 years, establishing and scaling the unit, delivering profitable growth. He was responsible for delivery excellence for consulting engagements in this space, providing sales support for opportunities across the globe, demonstrating thought leadership, and creating and managing assets. As a strategist, head of IT and practicing enterprise architect, he has shaped and driven technology-enabled business transformation for multiple organizations. He has mentored and led programs involving IT strategies, business architectures, enterprise IT architecture, and roadmaps to enterprises across the globe. He has also managed technology programs and teams delivering IT services to large global customers. He has a degree in engineering in electronics from VJTI Mumbai and has done a general management program from Lakota Institute, Leh University in US. Over to you, Mr. Amaya, please.
Thank you, Mrs. Dabir, for the introduction, and ASSOCHAM for the opportunity to share my thinking. on a very pertinent and an important subject within the realm of skill development today. It's a privilege to be here and be part of the panel. And it's also heartening to listen to the level of acceptance and level of adoption of the blended learning models by most panelists. I strongly believe that the pandemic and the lockdown has accelerated this adoption and brought in behavior changes in the last 6 months, which otherwise would have taken probably 5 or 10 years to reach this level. Having said that, I will share what our learnings have been as we have adopted blended learning across the skill development programs that are run at Tata Strive. As we all know, developing a skill is essentially a combination of knowing or knowledge, understanding, and practicing. There are other parts for skill development programs to be successful, starting with creating a level of awareness in the youth about the opportunity and about the skills required, or counseling the youth, mentoring them, hand-holding them. All these are important parts and components of the solution. Said that, given the topic today, I will be focusing on the use of technology in developing the skills part of which I said, it's knowing, understanding, and practicing. All these three, the knowing part, understanding, and practicing, are essential to hone a skill. I'll start with the last piece, which is the practice part. There are certain job roles or livelihood-oriented skills which can be practiced remotely using technology. I think there were examples that were shared earlier. Mr. Devraj shared examples of such skills, coding on virtual labs, or even graphic designing on virtual labs, where an expert can give comments the next day, is a skill that can be practiced virtually on a technology platform. Even role plays in presence of an expert or a guide helps practice certain skills, like skills for selling a financial product or skills for answering a customer call. But there are most other skills which require use of physical tools, use of hands, need a lab, investment in infrastructure, and a presence of an expert or a facilitator to help the learners learn and practice the skill. Augmented reality, virtual reality can help optimize the time that a learner spends in the lab, but we cannot do away with the physical practice. Physical practice is essential in most skills. But the other two parts, the knowing, understanding part, the practicing physical labs are essential for most skills, but the knowing and understanding are the parts of skill development where technology can play a significant role, be it self-paced learning or virtual instructor sessions or assessments or activities, collaborations, engagement activities that are designed on the virtual platforms. All these can combine to weave experience for the learners. This, however, cannot be achieved by just providing self-paced content access to learners, nor can it be achieved by moving what was done in classrooms and in labs to a Zoom or a Google Meet session. I think there is a need to consciously design a blended learning experience, keeping the learner's background in mind, challenges that they face, inhibitions in their mind, the environment and condition that they come from. I think that has to be kept in mind while designing these experiences for learners. And we realized this fairly early, I think in March itself, as soon as after the lockdown, we invested in redesigning our courses for this blended model and using e-learning wherever apt, but designing other parts of the experience, whether it is activities, online sessions, practice sessions in labs. So today, as we speak, 15 plus blended learning courses have been redesigned and launched across our centers and even our partner centers. These include even technical courses like refrigeration and AC technician, electrician, as well as service industry courses like retail and banking. On the platform side, we have partnered with TCS. TCS Ion is the backbone in terms of the platform. Plus, we are working with other organizations, even IBM Skill Build, for example, for content of certain digital courses. All of our courses are also continue to address both the domain skills and life skills, which are extremely essential for success at work. And the learning and feedback from these batches that are already gone live and few batches that have already completed is extremely encouraging. Learners are willing, they are innovating, they are finding ways, even they're finding jugaad ways of doing practice at home, be it our F&B or food and beverage steward batch, where they created cutlery out of cardboard to arrange a fine dine table, and they practiced it at home and demonstrated it to the learners. Or the BPO batch, where they invested in a small second-hand keyboard, which is a few $100, which connects to the phone to practice the typing speed. I think these are examples which show the change in mindset of the learners. It demonstrates that blended learning actually shifts the responsibility to the learner, and the learner needs to feel responsible for his or her own learning for such models to be successful. Also, as pointed out by Mrs. Dabir, I think the other puzzle piece of the challenge is capability of the trainers and facilitators to adopt this model, for which we have developed a course, a Train the Trainer program, specifically to address a blended learning model. And this is actually realizing the need of the ecosystem. This is there also on NSDC eSkill India portal as well, for all trainers across the ecosystem to adopt. But having said that, there are other challenges, some of which have been mentioned, which is access to devices and internet. Hopefully 5G will help, as Mr. Bali said. The second challenge is also to do with acceptance and acknowledgement of the blended learning model by those who fund and invest in these programs. Our programs, which are CSR run, our partners have been more than willing. Most of them have agreed and adopted the blended learning models. Apart from a couple of them who are still experimenting with it, pilot batches are going on those. On the government schemes front, we partner with some of the state governments as well as MORD. And I know that we are yet to see the acknowledgement of the blended learning model. We know it's a significant change, a lot of change to the SOPs and the guidelines need to happen for the model to be part of these schemes as well. But we are happy to share some of the learnings that we have to help accelerate this adoption. So to summarize, I think e-learning is an essential part of the solution for skill development moving ahead. We need to consciously craft experiences that blend different options that are available to us: remote collaboration, remote sessions, self-paced learning, practice, AR, VR. I think we need to consciously craft experiences. And the third is merely providing access to e-learning content won't suffice, or classroom to Zoom won't suffice. And there is still a small change management that needs to happen across the ecosystem. I think those are the points, Mrs. Dabir, that I would want to share with all here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ameya. I know Tata Strive is a very large program, and so your experiences and the whole change in the model of from classroom to blended learning is very exciting to know. Also, probably all of us can get back to you and see how we can benefit from your experiences.
Absolutely.
Our next speaker of the day is Mrs. Joyita Das. Good afternoon, Mrs. Das. She is the lead education and skilling initiative, IBM India and South Asia. Mrs. Joyita Das, lead education and skilling initiative at CSR IBM India Private Limited, is a corporate citizenship professional with a unique experience of over 20 years of working with government and non-governmental organizations, multilateral funding agencies and corporates. Her focus has been on primarily improving the quality of education in both K-12 and higher education, leading large-scale public-private partnerships. She is deeply passionate about improving individual lives and whole communities of practice through education and nurturing talent through focused and innovative collaborations with experts in non-profit, school and university systems and industry partners. Being entrepreneur in her outlook, Joyita is a problem solver with emphasis on producing significant results and measurable impact. At her current role at IBM, she leads Education and Skilling Initiative, driving digital citizenship and integration with multiple education stakeholders to improve 21st century learning and professional development skills to build a talented workforce pipeline in India and across the world. Over to you, Joyita. We are keen to listen to your experiences in this field.
Thank you, ma'am, and hello, everyone. Audible?
A little louder. You can be a little louder, Joyita.
Hello, everyone. Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's better.
Wonderful. Thank you. I think, listening to all the eminent speakers here, it is extremely important that, we understand the role of learning platforms, which is also the topic for today for upskilling and training. However, I just want to draw up in the next few minutes, why do we need this more than ever before? Of course, we know all this. Why, from a data point of view, we have over 600 million people under the age of 25 years old, right? And as for the India Skills Report 2020, it says that only 47% of our workforce is honestly employable in 2020. And out of which only 2.3 of the total workforce is formally trained. And the data goes on and on and on. Of course, we're talking about Industry 4.0. We're talking about a lot of shift in both skills and behavior. Some of the speakers did mention that. And what is interesting is, if I have to really say why, and, with that, maybe half a second, because we all know why. Just wanted to add that everyone really, it's a belief system that as an organization, as a leading technology partner, IBM has always believed that, everyone needs to build, use, and keep and revisit their own skills roadmap to the best possible future. And how do we do it? As an organization, as a part of corporate citizenship or CSR, we bring it all together here with IBM's people, technology, and with that of all our partners. And I will tell you probably a couple of stories, when we go towards the next few minutes of this discussion or presentation. But what I want to talk about, I don't want to talk about the kind of platforms. I think we have enough and more. We also know why, how we are already talking about it. There are dime a dozen platforms. We've modified, tons of it in the last few months, given all kinds of problems and issues that have really been thrown at us, or even, we are kind of, we are being faced with. I just wanted to sort of talk about one of the platforms, which we have really been partnering with, and with both Ministry of Skill as well as with the Ministry of Education now. And I think there has been enough and more references of all that, even with the National Education Policy 2020, NEP 2020. Just wanted to point out that there are various personas that we are talking about here. And that is something that all of us are dealing with. When we talk about e-skilling, e-learning, or whatever platforms that we are using for upskilling, reskilling, and training, we are talking of a couple of personas. One, the learner themselves or the individuals who are in need of a general sort of digital skill, who want to be a part of this whole transformation and all that, who are interested in pursuing a career in technology, and not necessarily only just in a technical role, but also in a non-technical. We are also talking about various not-for-profit partners as a part of CSR especially, and with a focus of course, not only just the spend, but a meaningful transformation as a part of the law in India. It becomes far more crucial for us to work with each and every organization that have this large focus as a part of not-for-profit, who are obviously equally ready to upskill themselves and offering the digital skills and the development that they want to see in their sort of network. And they want to really focus on employability, talk about inclusion, and of course to their own employees and volunteers as a part of this digital transformation that is, that we are all actually undergoing. The third persona that we're talking about is any single, other organization, whether it's a startup, whether it is a government entity, whether it is any other for-profit organization who want to embrace this digital transformation and are interested in recruiting and developing this workforce and talent, with probably aligning ourselves better with, or themselves better with, the job roles or the workforce talent pipeline that gets built up. And especially this happens with HR of different organizations. So of course, what are we saying? We are saying that these are different personas. We are also saying there are a couple of other components. There are online courses. There's no dearth of content. But I want to talk about, certain thing here, which is based on project-based learning and project-based skill development. We've heard about practice sessions and, on the job internship, industry relevant content since time immemorial, right? And of course, project-based learning is also not new in the education system. So, how do we all bring this together? And we better get our acts together honestly now, because if we don't have, we have a policy framework to guide, we have enough and more issues on the ground, we know our expertise. How do we all charter this together? And time for industry associations, for government, for non-governmental partners, for industry partners to all come together and work on this. So involvement of the learner themselves, right? We can't really teach everyone how to do it, and unless they are faced with a problem and they come up with a solution of their own. So which is what we were talking about, problem solving. And why is it important and crucial in our system of education as well as in e-learning of any sort? Now, I don't know if some of you have seen this, but in a country like India, we have introduced artificial intelligence. IBM has taken the lead to work with the Central Board of Secondary Education to introduce AI in school as an elective subject, and practice, project-based learning, capstone project, training the trainers has become all the more crucial. And this is a significant step towards aligning with the workforce that we were talking about and introducing project-based learning right from the school. Though we are a bit late, but at least we are thinking about, solving and innovation and design thinking as a culture. Design thinking in India is picking up really a great momentum, and that is something which I wanted to stress about here. Of course, there are, all these aspects, but I want to just talk about role-based learning. And I think I heard about telecom sector, construction sector, various others. We've got our all qualification framework. We've got all our standards really well aligned. And it's a great global standard that India has got this. And this is not new, right? For us now to align that and work with government together for scale, because one is platform, but the other piece that is extremely crucial here is, of course, the partnerships. Now, how do we do this? For example, if we really have to work, and this is one of my favorite, stories which have really made an impression and a strong CSR impact, both personally and professionally for me. First generation learner, of course, we all know, the kind of struggles and all that. But if one aspires to become a cybersecurity specialist, given the kind of industry support and exposure and handholding on training and on the job, on the job training or internship, this really can become somebody's life-changing game. And unless we do that and inspire each and every one in their journey, and which is why that segmentation of persona becomes extremely crucial. So first generation learner aspiring to be a cybersecurity expert. And so the learners, each of them, through their own experience of solving problems, no matter where they are from, and coming together in this, any kind of platform, not necessarily, I think I heard, Tata Strive mentioning that, and we are very, very happy to really partner with a great partner like Tata Strive and, the learning platform of Bharat Skills, eSkilling, and various others. We have been named as Skills Build top 10 e-learning platform in the country a couple of months back when we started this. So, all of this is on the Google. I'm not going to spend time. What is important is to focus on this coaching or project-based learning for this digital transformation. And, there are lots and lots of stories, and I think that's for another time, but I want to really talk about a couple of them here, which is a play of both IBM CSR as well as the partner network that we work with. This girl called Priyanka, right? And again, first generation from Orissa, mother is not seen anything outside of that little village, but she became one of the telecallers, and has really gone ahead with various global competitions and so on and so forth. Security guard becoming a certified employee. Tons of examples, gainful employment through plumbing training programs. But what is also interesting is, these skills we know has been there, and I've heard some of these examples also from other people here from the panel. But, giving that energy, giving that opportunity, okay, to both train a teacher who can, or a faculty who can then, inspire others, has been one of the most fulfilling part of this learning journey that I have taken, so far. So very happy to share more, but I think, let me call out another one here from the ITI or the DGT sort of network, Shamshad. She's been a trainer and almost kind of was, losing hope. Teaching, training, yes, what's new, and it's great. It helps her because she was in the comfort zone. There comes something like an artificial intelligence, a new age emerging technology, and she sort of immersed herself in all of this, okay? And with her enthusiasm, her attitude to learn, and her, of course, ability to motivate others to create chatbots and, learn about full stack web development and so on. She has been really a great inspiration, and she's one of the trainers who always kind of go back to in an ITI setup. So the last example that I want to leave with, this is about 2018 sometime. IBM and the Ministry of Skill Development, we came together to revamp their traditional, computer-based learning and teaching into a 2-year, diploma and networking program. Now, with the programmatic hook and e-learning and training, there was a built-in component of 5 months of paid internship at IBM. Now, very, very happy to share with you. I think we have really had a couple of successes, both at IBM, leading to conversion, that is jobs, students who've just joined, and all the first batch students have been placed across our network organizations and partner organizations. So this is really the final outcome or the final play of all of this that we are talking about. Finally, that's what is crucial. Of course, I can go on with stories, but keeping in mind the time, happy to share all of this with you. And thank you again, ASSOCHAM and all partners to, for us to be able to share all these stories with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Das. It has been very enriching to understand what IBM is doing. And apprenticeship-based learning has always been very successful. In Tata Institute of Social Sciences, we have also developed a work-integrated training model for BVOC programs. And we have about 10,000 students and 3,000 have passed out with their graduation. And the placement rate is more than 80%. So apprenticeship-based and work-integrated training has a great value. But during this pandemic, many of them are not able to go to work, and we hope that it will be over soon. Okay, we go to the next panelist of the day today, Mr. Venkatesh Sarvasiddhi. Venkatesh works with National Skill Development Corporation, heading the digital skills, innovation, industry partnership, and CSR engagements in building the policy and framework for skilling motion in India. He also heads the eSkill India under the Digital India initiative to empower youth, leads the innovation practice in engaging with startup ecosystem, partnering with industry to foster growth by building scalable and sustainable technology. Sustainable technology skilling platforms to support nation's largest Skill India program, Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana, PMKVY, which are set up across various states and districts in India. Prior to NSDC, he was working with Deloitte as Director Innovation, leading the Deloitte Skill Academy, which focused in bridging the gap between industry and academia. He holds electrical engineering degree from Dayarbagh Educational Institute, Master of Science holder from BITS Pilani, Management holder from IIM Kolkata, Executive Marketing Program, holder of Kellogg School of Management USA, and a Chevening Gurukul Fellow at King's College London, prestigious Commonwealth Fellowship in areas of education and technology. So, Mr. Venkatesh, please, we are keen to hear the NSDC experience in e-skilling.
Thank you, Neela ji and others. Really appreciate and great joining this afternoon. So in interest of time, I just want to keep the conversation specific to eSkill India and what we are doing in eSkill India and how we are building the platform for upskilling and training. So for people who don't know what is eSkill India is one single platform which we started building at NSDC, which caters to anything and everything to do with skilling. So we somehow feel there's a lot of content available lying in different pockets, either with startups or with SMEs or large enterprises. So the effort of ours at NSDC is to bring all the content to one particular spot so that it is accessible, available, curated, and it could be also bringing in value. So as part of that initiative, in fact, we have seen pre-COVID and post-COVID, we have seen almost 1400% jump in the number of users on eSkill India. That means a lot of people are logging on to eSkill India platforms and the online platforms overall because of the physical lockdowns. And what we have done is we have built in very extremely rich partnerships. And those partnership model I can certainly focus on in interest of other audience also. So what we are doing is, I personally believe that any model can only develop if there's a proper public-private partnership. And as part of that, the way we are looking at envisaging eSkill India is bringing in relevant partners who can add value. Last year, we looked into such partnerships and we started the journey. As on date, we brought in close to 18 to 19 such interesting partnerships, ranging from successful ones like the Britannia. Britannia is as you know, most of us consume their biscuits, and Marigold is one of the world's largest selling biscuit categories. They sell almost 64 lakh biscuit packets in a day. So with the kind of a reach they have, we have partnered with them on a competition called Britannia's My Startup Challenge, which was focused on empowering women and driving women entrepreneurs who actually have interesting ideas to submit, and who have intention to start something of their own, as small as could be a pickle business, or it could be starting a laundry business, or it could be starting a handicraft centric business from different parts of India. So as a part of this, we launched this along with the presence of Amitabh Kant from Niti Aayog in the month of March, just before the COVID, and we have seen, and the competition started in March and ended in June, and we have seen 1.5 million women who logged on, who registered for this competition. That's the kind of a scale, and this I'm talking in the middle of the lockdowns and all of that. So from there, we actually, the women who logged in, it's not just about winning a certain cash prize, which was like 10 lakhs given out to 10 different people, but the overall ecosystem, we looked at skilling and created modules on EEE, English, entrepreneurship, and employability, so that all those women who logged in go through these employment modules and also entrepreneurship modules in partnership with Vadhwani. So Vadhwani helped us in building the content, and we brought in interesting partnerships of Britannia, Vadhwani, and finally impacted the women entrepreneurship kind of an angle. Similarly, we brought in interesting partnerships in the last few months in empowering, upskilling, and training. One of them is the NSDC's partnership with Khan Academy. As you know, most of Khan Academy is a very, very reputed online platform for learning skilling. It's like an open MOOC kind of an ecosystem. With them, we launched a very interesting course on foundational mathematics. We find that as per the data, a lot of these workers and blue collar workforce are, have issues in mathematics and doing calculations, and a lot of middlemen actually take advantage of this. We launched with Khan Academy a foundational NOS, National Occupation Standard, and a very interesting program wherein they can be trained on foundational mathematics, which is proving to be very, very helpful. Similarly, we have partnered with Joyta was there with IBM. There was an open PTech platform wherein they were offering emerging Industry 4.0 skills free of cost. That's a fantastic platform. So, what we have done is in a virtual event which was organized last month, Sandeep, their CEO for India, as well as Dr. Manish Kumar, our CEO, we jointly announced the partnership to offer those open PTech platforms and integrate with eSkill India so that it can benefit thousands and millions of students in the higher education ecosystem. Similarly, we have partnered also with LinkedIn. LinkedIn has launched something called LinkedIn Online Learning, LinkedIn Learning Platform, LinkedIn Coaches, and LinkedIn Live. So we have partnered with them to ensure that the LinkedIn learning content, especially built for the blue collar workforce and which can really be impactful for them, is integrated with eSkill India. So we are trying to build in partnerships to continue the momentum in the same journey. One of the things where Satya Nadella, the global CEO for Microsoft, has announced a 25 million skilling program as part of the COVID upskilling worldwide. And NSDC is the first organization in the world to immediately partner with them and bring in that partnership to light in terms of committing 2 lakh people to be trained, 1 lakh youth, especially in the college going segment, and 1 lakh actually on the diversity centric, which was also got a lot of recognition and also appreciation from different parts of the world because that partnership was very critical for India. As per the partnership, we will be training 1 lakh women and girl students and from different aspects of skill ecosystems along with Microsoft on basics of digital literacy, also covering Microsoft Office, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, which can actually help them to get a decent job of 15,000-20,000 rupees in their own towns and in their own villages, wherever they're operating from. So, in this model, what we are doing is eSkill India as a single platform, not only from an online learning perspective, but also we're bringing in partnerships from different organizations, whether it is LinkedIn or whether it is an Britannia or whether it's an Amazon. We also partnered with Amazon on a similar front in driving awareness around COVID and all. So we are bringing in different partnerships at different levels, not only with the large organizations, even with startups, to ensure that the accessible quality education can be given and it is curated. At the same time, we have the partnerships intact so that it is a collaborative effort of NSDC along with partners which can empower the larger ecosystem. Thanks, Ms. Neela ji. I think I just want to finish off in time so that other speakers have enough time to speak. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I know talking about NSDC can go on for hours, but you have really managed to give us in a capsule in 10 minutes. Thank you very much. So our next speaker for the day, I think she has already come, right? We have Mr. Anil People. Has he joined? Ajay ji?
Yes, madam, I'm inside. I'm here.
Anil is there.
Anil is here. So Mr. Anil People is the Joint Secretary, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, Government of India. And he will be giving us the story from the government side as to what the government is doing for e-learning platforms, how they are facilitating the e-learning for all, right from rural to urban to educated to uneducated, whatever target groups we have. So over to you, Anilji. Please let us know what the government IT sector is doing.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for inviting me this webinar, Skill Development, Role of E-Learning Platforms for Upskilling and Training. First of all, I'm not a Joint Secretary. Joint Secretary recommended my name. I'm a Director. I'm the HOD.
I'm extremely sorry. Sorry, sir.
Yes. So I'm looking after human resource development as a head of the department, and e-learning again head of the department. And we are running IT for Masses programs also for training skilling. And also we engage lots of through lots of projects for developing digital library contents by digitization of various books available across various libraries. And then we have integrated these books, scanned books, around 5.5 lakhs with MHRD. Now Ministry of Education has developed National Digital Library. It's a part of that integration. Now, of course, nowadays almost more than 5 crores digitized books are available on NDLI portal, including our stuff. So since we did before that, Ministry of Education, MHRD has not done this, but parallelly they have also, or not parallelly, maybe sometimes after they take up the lead, and then we have successfully developed, and also we have integrated our content also with them. So that is in short. So point is, we want that a human being on this earth should acquire some knowledge and update themselves and do the needful for self and for the society. And for that purpose, we have to brush own brains, others' brain, and by different mechanism, whether offline mode, online mode, and all, by different ways, so that it will be usefulness for the individual persons, so that they can give their best and they can have some bread and butter, and then they can live better for self and for the society. So that is the main maqsad. So point is that this kind of education and skill we are imparting through conventional way of classrooms and all. And of course, online things also came up and mushroomed like anything past couple of months or say couple of years. And this side also, ministry was engaged in so many projects in e-learning since last 10 years. But 2-3 years before, it was said enough is enough, because e-learning, there are so many things has been developed and so much has been come up, and then now let's it's okay. And we also kept little down our this thing. But now see again, this e-learning, other than this, there is no option. So e-learning is the best thing in today's world also. And of course, by different ministries, departments, and everybody engaged in these meetings using online platforms, video conferencing meetings, and everywhere, not only governments. So e-learning, e-platforms are playing a very important role and part in today's time. whether it is a meetings or webinars or seminars or knowledge or education, skill development and all, so many things. So of course we know what is the role of e-learning platforms. It is very, very useful and important, and also our ministry also is now again, very much eagerly is engaged in this e-learning activities. So of course, since we talk about skill and education, so there is a skill ministry already there, Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. But there is a Ministry of Human Resource Development and now turned into as a Ministry of Education. That is also, these two bodies are already, Government of India's central government ministries are already existing. And then what we are doing as a Ministry of Electronics and IT, we of course were engaged in development of different platforms, tools for e-learning activities. And again, we are taking some more pilot things and then coming up again. But if you see in today's world, there are plenty tools, plenty applications, or mobile-based or desktop-based, laptop-based. There are so many things are there, and all are giving different things or different ways. Whatever it is convenient, whatever it is be suitable to them. So it's a good thing. And it could be centralized, it could be a common, what we need to go further by taking everything. It is very difficult to, integrate everybody. So whatever is going on, it's going on. But the thing is, there is always chance for improvement and to go further ahead and give their best. So all are trying their best because sometimes, they can accommodate this much numbers of users. They have to increase their, numbers by giving more servers and these things, parallel things and cloud-based applications and services. So they have to multiply and give their best. So all are trying in that way, and it is a need also. So point is that I'll start from basic, very scratch. That we say that because I've seen so many words here, keywords. So keywords is. So many keywords I've seen here, like skill, like training also I've seen upskilling, but there are so many, there is a fine difference because we should know, first of all, that what we have to do. So it should be clear. And again, there should be another thing is how to do. So what to do and how to do. If we know both very well, then the way is very clear and we can achieve what we want to take up the actions. So in this way, because we can say that skill development, this is a thing, because I've seen the three words here, skill, then upskilling and training. So there are so many other words also. I must say that the skill development is one thing, education is again one thing, entrepreneurship development, again there is a one thing, then soft skill development, soft skill enhancement, I must say. Then upskilling is there, then reskilling is there, and capacity building programs. So these are all different things. All are not same. All are having a specific meaning, specific activities. So what purpose it is, it has to be very much clearly defined, and what, because e-learning platforms, technology tools, it is available and it will be available more in better way. So that is, these are all platforms. So, but what we have to allow by using these platforms, whether skill development, education, entrepreneurship, soft skills, upskilling, reskilling, capacity building, there are so many things which is clearly goes one by one, And we got recently, one letter from Ministry of Education, which says that there is a need to, develop one kind of platform which can cater the need of the 24 crores school children across India. So how to go about? Because see, this online, though it looks so good, of course, but there are so many parameters. For example, networks. It should be robust and good devices, whether we are using notepad or laptops or mobiles or desktops or whatever these devices, then there should be power supply proper, then content should be the best, then there should be good teachers, good mentors, then this is there should be interest in the entire game, in this entire learning, online learning, whether or classroom learning, whatever. There should be a interest. It should be interesting. If there is no interesting, there won't be any fun, and it won't be attract us. This thing. Either teacher also will be distracted or student also. So it should be interesting. The gamification should be there. Level-based learning. Then teaching also will be also quiz at the end of each session, assessment, certification, feedback, suggestion. There are so many parameters. So these are all required. And this side, our ministry has done some of the northeastern states, like in almost all, in 8 states in Northeast, including Sikkim, virtual-based learning the programs. We have a sanctioned project, and classroom, smart classroom, also establishment of smart classroom with virtual reality-based learning in key topics of the science and related subjects for the school kids from class say 8, 9, 10, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 also it may come in future. So that way we are going to attract those students so that they can understand properly the subject without much reading, without much this thing. By virtual realization they can understand better and quicker. So those kind of technology is going to support. And again, we have given one more project. Medical students will take up all different types of online experiments without doing reality by themselves. So for this program also we have launched. So it will be useful for medical students for doing a practical experiments. And another one which we have already sanctioned, that is called online labs. It is having more than 173 experiments without physical labs. It's online labs in physics and chemistry and biology, and even maths also, English also they have kept. So these are all online available. It's called OLabs. OLabs is developed by CDAC and Amrita University, and then it is successfully people are utilizing across the India. And this three programs which we are already right now also ongoing, and plus we are planning some more activities and much more projects. Besides this, we have launched a Future Skill Prime program. In this Future Skill Prime, already it is with NASSCOM, has started B2B model, and now recently we have started B2C model. In B2C model, it is for the for 10 new emerging areas. For example, virtual reality, IoT, big data analytics, AI, robotics, process automation, additive manufacturing, 3D printing, cloud computing, social, mobile, cyber security, and blockchain. So these are the 10 emerging technologies where reskilling will be done and upskilling also will be done. So B2B is already ongoing. So B2C is going to launch soon, because it has been sanctioned and money also transferred, and it is jointly between my ministry, CDAC, and NASSCOM going to implement, and it is having the blended mode of learning also, where hub and spoke model will be utilized, and 40 centers of CDAC, our society, and NALIT, National Institute of Electronics and IT. So these two institutes also are involved in 40 centers across the nation for blended mechanism. So this is implemented right now. These 40 centers are across right now in 12 states, and project cost is 436 crores, where it is expected that 4.12 lakhs beneficiaries will be benefited, and it is a new emerging area technology, upskilling and reskilling. But this technology will not limit it to 10 only, because this program will keep on continuing, moving further, and then new technology will keep coming, and then it will be offered. So it is a platform where all training providers are integrated into one, and then Coursera and all. So they are all offering different things, and AI also used. in this entire program, where the learner will be his interest will be captured by using AI. So where he wants to go, what he is, and where his inclination is, and where he is going to go. So that way, this future skill program will be healthy. And besides, MHRD has developed so many platforms. For example, it's called Shodh Ganga, E-Yantra, Samarth, Vidwan, Swam, and PTEL. And we have also funded mighty earlier programs like E-Pathshala, E-PG Pathshala, Braspati, E-Shikshak. Then there's a DG Shala. Then now Ministry of Education has made the entire thing bundled as a Sakshat, sakshat.ac.in, where you can find all different platforms which are integrated for different users. So besides, there are so many private people, WebEx, Zoom, Jitsi, Video. They are all giving their services for meetings, seminars, video conferencing, and all. And there are other people who like Byju's and Khan Academy, Coursera. They are also offering their own different platform which we have developed. So basically, say technology will not be a bottleneck in this entire online platform. Technology is whatever is available. We have to capture that. What is coming to come new one, it has to be integrated again. And we have to make the content should be interesting, attractive, and it will be level based. It will attract both, and it should have the live things. Not only that we have to keep, for example, a PPT, and we have to keep the text, and we have to keep video lectures and audio lectures. We have to give the live things also, where teacher have the direct interaction with students. So like Ministry of Tribal Affairs right now is engaging mechanism where notepads will be offered to the tribal students, and it will be the information on school syllabus, and learning material will be integrated into that tabs, and it will be given. And of course, there will be live session and online connectivity, online platform also will be developed separately. So in this direction, Ministry of Tribal Affairs is working recently. So, like well said by other speakers, that there should be learning by doing kind of things, but how to do online learning by doing there are different. We have to use tools and technologies where by using simulation also one can do, and in app based or desktop based. I mean, there should be like coding also one can do, and then. Subjective answers also could be analyzed well by the computer itself, and assessment could be done. There should be active use of AR, VR platforms for learning and teaching. So it's all collaboration of so many things, and then it will give a better and effective this thing. And now Ministry of Education also in the new education policy also came out so many technologies emerging also. AI also it's the key. So that way I must say that this platform, online platform will definitely give a very much interest to the both sides, teachers and students, and clear way one has to define what I'm going to offer, like skill or education or whatever, and that we have to go ahead. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for letting us know what the government is doing and how many schemes and in different ways the government is helping this e-learning. We have the last speaker of the day, Ms. Leena Johari. She is Joint Secretary, Ministry of Rural Development, Government of India. So, Ms. Johari, please let us know what your ministry is doing in this sector of e-learning and skilling.
Thank you. First of all, I would like to thank you for the invite to this webinar. And I think e-learning in the context, e-learning platforms for upskilling and training are very contextual in the present context. COVID and post-COVID, how every ministry is coping, and I think we are groping also in a sense, because this was always part of the policy, but now this has suddenly come to the forefront and has become a necessity for all of us to reinvent and ensure that this thing happens very quickly. So I was listening to the earlier speakers from skill development, from Mr. Anil Pipal, and a couple of earlier, because I joined a bit late due to some other engagement. So I'm looking after a program DDU GKY, which is Deen Dayal Upadhyay Gramya Kaushal Yojana, which pertains to scaling. I'm just saying skilling, not upskilling, identifying poor rural youth between age group of 18 to 45, and identifying them and taking them to through skilling and through different PIAs and the likes. And what I would like to share with the audience today, that this is something I think DDU-GKY in a sense has been a pioneer in this area of online skill training delivery, and created a policy frame for live distance training. And it is stated in the policy, and although I would say that PIAs were always encouraged to adopt studio-based interactive learning methods of content delivery. But yes, this, as I say, this was the intent, but how much it was being done was maybe because the circumstances allowed us to work in an offline mode, in a kind of more face-to-face connect mode. So this was not emphasized. However, now this is happening. And what is interesting is we speakers also mentioned, raised this issue that availability of an instrument or a computer or a tab or something, it is necessary to enable that child or beneficiary to access to these all e-contents which different speakers have mentioned. So we have a mandatory use of tablet computer with training learning material, which is course focus wherever that child is being trained. And there is a mandatory use of IT training for all the trainees, which includes soft skills and learning about how to handle the computer, etc. So that is ingrained in us. However, as we see, and I will not repeat, I will just make a passing mention that all these massive open online courses, the accessibility of all these courses is in urban areas, what to say of rural areas. Lot of things have happened, but there are issues of recognition of this online training, availability of equipment, electricity, internet connectivity, training learning materials, good training learning material availability for trainers and or trainees, and lack of content which is for online training, because out of 3,950 qualification packs which we have, only 40 qualification packs have partial online training content, as has been informed by MSDE. So despite of all these things, these are still challenging issues, and on-job there was a mention of that lab training, simulation, and all those things are done, but still these are issues which one is grappling with. If we see upskilling issue in relation to rural skill division of MORD, I think our focus area is, as I said, serving the huge unserved poor rural youth who need to be prioritized. By prioritized, I mean, say, firstly identified. And when we say poor rural youth, we identify these poor rural youth on the basis of SECC survey data, which list out the different levels of deprivation, and anyone who has even single deprivation listed against their name, that person are the type of beneficiaries which are coming under DDU GKY, and another program which we have, which we run through RCTs also, which through which we aim to train and equip them for individual entrepreneurship and the likes. So this and if we see these upskilling qualification packs, they require very high level of entry requirement. For example, we have a carpenter who is a good carpenter, but if he wants to be pushed towards IKEA or the similar type of position, then he has to have certain level before he can get upskilled and then be employable there. And lack of clear visibility of placement opportunities based on upskilling qualification packs, that is also an issue. Maybe this is something which is new, which has emerged, and this has been pushed to the forefront because of the COVID crisis. I think things will evolve and something will emerge out of this crisis also, its acceptability and other issues. And obviously, limited resources are there with the for this program. So obviously, it will be used for the regular skilling component of the program rather than upskilling of those already skilled. And co or part paid up skilling should be thought of for upskilling. I think that was something which are the issues which I wanted to raise from Ministry of RD point of view. And however, we will have to think that how we are going to go ahead with this, and what is the way forward for this, especially for rural youth. I think it will be very important for promoting accessibility in the target segment, which again I would repeat is rural youth for us, and providing equipment to the needy, the vulnerable rural poor. Maybe this is something which we will have to think that how we ensure that rural poor is able to access equipment so that he can access the e-learning content if there is a course for which he is fit, for which he's firstly if he is selected, for which he is fit, and if he takes that e-learning course, he will gain benefit from that. And internet connectivity is an issue. However, we can we are also thinking how we come around it. Maybe internet connectivity vouchers so that they are able to access the course material, excluding all the other websites so that they do not misuse that for other scrolling for other sources of entertainment and the similar things, but use it focus for their upskilling. And developing a very engaging training learning material for use in online courses. I think this is a very important responsibility on people who are engaged in this sector to see that how they are made robust and very interesting, interactive. A lot of things was said by Mr. Pippal. I think all these learnings and all these good practices which are emerging or which are being discussed in today's forum should be understood, collated, and then the points which emerge, they should be seen that how we can go ahead with that. And there should be different level of content and type of content for skilling of even one course. So I say this because rural population has different level of deprivation. So if a candidate from a particular candidate finds it difficult, he should not be left out, or those slow learners should have a different way of approaching the course, and the quick learners have a regular course. And interactive online training platforms creation, online simulations, something has been mentioned, maybe this is possible, and tutorials for learning at their own pace. So focusing on skilling so that the person, even if he's trained online, his quality of training or his imbibing of the training or assimilation of the training is good, so that if a job opportunity emerges and he applies, then at least he is able to take that. It is win-win situation for him also and for the employer also. The employer does not feel diffident or uncertain that why should I employ someone who has done it online, how serious he or she was, and will it serve the purpose for the type of job I am engaging them for. Therefore, creating a buy-in of industry for on-job training, this also will have to be thought of, and maybe proctored assessment and certification and proven placement opportunity for online training. These are the things which we are thinking amongst ourselves, amongst our within our division, how to let us say smoothen the path of training which has which had come to a halt. However, our DDU-GKY centers have started functioning from 21st of September, but still there is a hesitation because of the way the pandemic is coming in waves, first wave, second wave, and third wave. Let us hope this, as you said, Neelaji, that let us hope it comes to an end soon and in a very strong way, so that people can really carry on with their lives normally. And we from MORD have made certain suggestions on the basis of inputs we have received from the PIAs and from the state rural livelihood missions and state managing CEOs of the state missions, that the cost norms for online skill training and blended training needs to be looked at afresh, keeping in view these situations which have emerged, and maybe online assessment, cost norms for accommodation, and because they have increased because of requirement for sanitization, space usage, and all those things, and following the quarantine measures which have to be there, not only just for the sake of following MOHFW guidelines, but for the safety of the PIA, for the children who are coming there for training. So we have made these propose these suggestions to MSDE. So let us see what emerges from it. But these are the things which we are trying, and we are trying our best that to assure the PIAs that we are strongly with them, and we would like them to carry on with the training and try to see how much online content can be onboarded, so that certain elements of the training which is possible can be done the online way. So these were the few things which I wanted to share with you all. And I understand that e-learning in the days to come, even after COVID, let's hope it ends quickly in near future soon. We because of this thing, we are all forced to take a corrective or a strong this aspect very strongly, that this is a norm which is doable, but how much it is doable, and then on the other side, acceptability by the industries for job placement, that has to be there. Thank you.
Thank you, Linaji. We had a very, very enriching webinar today, because people coming from different backgrounds and different experiences, but all working towards skill development using the e-learning platforms and e-learning modules. And their experiences were very, very useful in suggesting some things to the government. Maybe all the speakers can say one thing as to towards policy development, what would we like to suggest to the government, because e-learning policy as such is not existing at the moment. Actually, no country has a comprehensive policy for e-learning platforms, use of e-learning platforms or e-learning methodologies. So I would like to request the speakers if they have any suggestions towards policymakers for these e-learning phenomenon, which is here to stay. And we are all evolving in different ways and different experiments are going on. But finally, we will have to have some policy which is learner friendly as well as which is user friendly and looks at the interest of the students where they should get quality skill training. So if all of you can...
Neelaji, I just want to wants to make one small this thing. Right now, Miss Lina was telling about the Deen Dayal Upadhyay program. In the rural people has to be the training skilling. So in this line, I like to say that we are running one program called Pradhan Mantri Digital Gramin Saksharata Abhiyan.
Okay.
PMG Disha, Pradhan Mantri Gramin Digital Saksharata Abhiyan. Before that, we started National Digital Literacy Mission, and after that, we started Disha, the Digital Saksharata Abhiyan. And now, right now, it is ongoing. It is a PMG Disha, Pradhan Mantri Gramin Digital Saksharata Abhiyan. Where from one family of the rural, it is program for rural India only. So entire country, this program is going on. In one family, one person has to be digitally literate. You should know how to do email, how to search, how to download, how to submit application and useful. I mean, you will be very much aware about how to handle the computer. And digital financial transaction also he has to be.
Thank you, sir.
So this program, we have trained nearly 2.15 crore certified people right now. Certified. We trained 3 crores, but right now 2.15 crores people are certified. So I think this ready-made, this kind of people can be utilized well by in this Deen Dayal program.
Fine.
They will be further gaining training, further gaining skills. It will be useful.
Okay, sir. Anyone else would like to suggest something?
Yeah, Neelaji, I have something. I'm Anand Kumar Singh from construction again.
Yes.
We see the industry needs to participate in the skilling efforts. See what is happening. Government is putting a lot of efforts in this direction, but industry perhaps somehow it feels they're not willing to participate in this. We have the suggestion that any industry who is hiring, be it construction, they must have capability to train their intakes. Everything cannot be dependent on the government. Right. That is where it should come. Industry must get it. If not for others, then at least for the self-employment, there should be, and as per the government guidelines or NSQF aligned courses with proper tools and equipments. That should be there. That's what my suggestion. We are participating for the rural also, like Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Gramin under Ministry of Rural Development, and that has got a very good result in the field. In all the estates, I can say, we have almost near about 1.6 lakh we have trained in the last 2 years. Similarly, we have started under Sankalp. We have started as a pilot in Varanasi district for over 3,000 rural people, and that is at the Gram Panchayat level. We are taking the list from the people, those who are working under Gram Panchayat, and that is being done under the Sankalp. So efforts are there, but what is needed, I said earlier, that needs to be encouraged, and that message has to go to the all the industry, in fact.
Okay, fine. Thank you. So I think we have got lots of inputs, and in terms of knowing what is happening in different sectors and different fields, rural, urban, at the ministry level, at the industry level, at NSDC. So all these inputs will be useful for us to develop further tools as well as platforms which can be more user-friendly and effective for e-learning in the future. Thank you very much. Ajayji, would you like to have some closing remarks? Ajayji, would you like to, your mic is mute.
So no, I just wanted to thank you so much, Neelaji, and all the panelists, especially Leenaji, for staying with us for almost 1.5 hours. And this has been a very, very informative and educating session for all of us. And on behalf of ASSOCHAM, I would like to express my deep gratitude and thank all of you, all the panelists, and look forward to many more interacting sessions in the future. Thank you all, and have a great day ahead. And also wish you all on the auspicious occasion of Diwali. Wish you all a very happy Diwali, a safe Diwali. Please stay safe, please stay healthy, and please take care. Thank you so much. Thank you all. Please
Thank
take
you
care.
all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you and happy
Diwali
Diwali,
greetings to
everyone.
all
Thank
of
you.
you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Happy Diwali. Ji. Thank you. Thank you.
Happy
Thank you.
Diwali.
Thank you. Ji. Thank you.